Hello and welcome to Desert Rat Fiber Arts. I'm Desert Rat, but you can call me Lloyd. So today I just want to kind of give a little update on where I'm at with my Dean & Bean circular sock machine that I have here in front of me. Sorry, the color kind of blends in with my shirt today. And it's slow going for me. At the moment, I can knit tubes, no problem. Turning heels and toes. Not working so well for me, but I'll get there. I actually did a little better today than I have been doing. First of all, the first time I tried this, I was using these yarns here, and they're just some cheap stuff I got at Michael's. This one here was the first one I used. It's a nice, really thin sock yarn. This is Perfect Pair, which is of course the Michael's brand name. It's 454 yards of number 1 super fine, 3.5 ounces, which is 415 meters or 100 grams. And it knits really nice as far as, the tubes. And then I kept dropping stitches on the heels. Now, it's probably me, just learning the tensioning and whatnot on this machine. I really need to go through an exercise to do some tensioning exercises. I've got a couple of books I'll share with you here shortly. They're in the other room. I forgot to bring them in. So I have to do a cut and go get them. But this is actually really kind of stretchy. It's an acrylic. What is this exactly? It is 70% acrylic, 23% viscose, and 7% polyester. I just figure use something cheap. That way you're not wasting, your good yarn on anything like that. I've got some really good stuff here on the shelf that I bought from some yarn stores that I visited, and I don't want to waste that yet. And then I got this stuff here, which is, I got it in the bag here too. No, that's not it. That's something else. One moment while I find there's a label for that. Okay. I found the label, and this is just regular old Patton's Croy sock yarn that I got also at Michael's. The color is blue raspberry. This is a 50-gram ball, 1.75 ounce. It's 166 yards. Or 152 meters. It's 75% wool, 25% nylon. This, it's a little thicker than this stuff here. And when I was knitting it, it knitted up nice. It made a really interesting pattern with this. Both of these did. The density of the fabric was really thick, though. So, they might be really good for boot socks or something like that. But again, I was dropping stitches and stuff like that. And again, I'm sure it's just a big tensioning issue. This may or may not work well on this machine. They do recommend if you're going to be doing sock yarn, if you got a choice, use the thinner sock yarns like this. And then I've got this other sock yarn here. This is that I did my practice on today. This one here, nice cone of this. This is the Active. Active is the brand. The color for this one is denim, I believe. Yeah, denim. It's German, so I can't really read the label. I got this from CSM Supplies, reasonably priced. It seems like a really nice yarn. I can show you some of what I've knitted up here. This is just me attempting to turn heels. You can see I kind of got the heel turned, but I've got all these holes and stuff. I'm dropping stitches and stuff still. Not as bad as with these other 2 yarns, but so I just did a practice. I turned the heel, and then I did about 10 rows, and I turned another heel just to keep practicing on the machine. And I do have the 72-pin cylinder in the machine that I'm working with, because that's the size I would need for my foot if I'm ever going to be successful in turning heels. And I do want to make myself some socks in this colorway and try it out. Now this, in all honesty though, this isn't very soft. It might be better once it's washed. I don't know. I've heard that a lot of times coned yarns that's used for knitting machines is waxed. I don't know if this is the case with this stuff or not. So it just might be a simple matter of this needs to be washed afterwards for the softness to come out of it. But it does knit up very nicely. It's got a very nice stitch definition to it. And I love the color denim. Anything denim-ish I love. I do have some other colors that I purchased from them as well. I also got some, this is my waist yarn I also got from the CSM Supplies. And I bought most of the colorways that they had for the active. That was the only brand they had available at the time, other than getting the small balls of yarn and then winding them on the cones like we do with these here. But yeah, even that waist yarn, this is some of it on my cast on bonnet, and it's up fairly nicely. And it actually feels softer than this does, but this is probably a little more dense and hardy and better wearing than this acrylic stuff would be, so you don't want to use that. Okay, I did go and get the books while I was looking for the label for this yarn here, and these are the ones that I found these on Amazon. And again, I paid, all this stuff is paid for out of my own pocket, nothing sponsored. The first one is Essentials of Circular Machine Knitting, and this is by Lucy Best. This book is really well written. It's mostly geared towards the Erlbacher Gerhardt knitting machines, but the concepts should carry over onto this type of machine as well. The difference between the machines is Erlbacher's, the carriage moves around the outside of the cylinder, where with the Dean & Bean, the cylinder itself moves and the yarn stays stationary. So Essentials of Circular Knitting Machines. And then the second book, Circular Machine Knitting Beyond Basics, also by Lucy Best. These are the 2 books that I've been reading religiously. I just need to go through here and do her samples, go back to the first book and do all of her things to teach you how to adjust the tension and whatnot on these machines, so that you can get the best knit possible out of any type of yarn that you run through these machines. So anyways, that's it. That's where I'm at right now with my Dean & Bean circular knitting machine. I do want to do more with this. It's just sometimes it's hard for me to get a little bit of time in the day to get in here and practice. But I am practicing. I do want to learn how to use this, and I do want to be able to share things with you in the future. More on that. So until next time, this is Desert Rat. Happy crafting.